Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am back with day 6 of Follow a Sketch February with Scrapping Reflections and State Goddess, which is one and the same. And today's sketch is this one. It is from scrapbook.com. It looks like it has just a small picture, but that's not what we're doing. And a bunch of layers, or 2 small pictures. And I am kind of sticking to this layout, except my pictures won't be that little. So, lots of layers and some banners. So there is that, and I've got the little one up here. Now, I have decided that I need to use some of my Vicki Boutin Color Study. It is probably one of my all-time favorite collections, and I have acquired from Joann Fabrics a whole lot of the Vicki Boutin Color Study papers, and then bought the project pad, and then bought the 6x8, and of course I had these sticker sheets and sticker packs. So I have used quite a few of these, but not, I definitely want to get some more of these used up. I do have a specialty paper. I don't think I'll be using this today, but I figured I would pull all of my Vicki Boutin Color Study out because I want to use this. I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing, but I figured that these were the best papers to use because I took these 2 selfies at work. I sent this to a friend who was not at school, and I had worn pigtails, and she wasn't at school that day, so I sent her a picture of me and my pigtails. And this crazy picture as I sent to my daughter just to say good morning. So this is what I'm scrapbooking today. So I figure because of my mask, which is my favorite mask, that I would use what I feel is probably my most colorful set of papers. So I'm gonna flip through all these papers and pick some layers. There's lots and lots of layers and different little embellishments or cut aparts or something on this layout. So I am going to finally use some of this up. It is one of those things that I love the paper so much I don't want to use it, but that's just crazy to me because it looks better on a layout than it does in this pile in my drawer or on my shelf. So that's the goal. We're going to get this used, some of it, and get these pictures documented. And so I have my pictures, I have lots of paper, I have some embellishments, and I have my sketch. So we shall see how this goes. So the first thing I did was go through the paper pad and the individual papers and pull out what I was interested in using, and decided to go with the rainbow theme and pulled a piece of red, a piece of green, and a piece of purple all out of the project pad. And I'm going to cut those up to be the background 3 layers. And there they are down on the mat. The top and bottom are thinner than the middle, so the red and purple are 3.5, and the green is 5 inches. So I decided I wanted to continue adding in that rainbow aspect, and so I put a little Paper Studios glitter washi between the red and the green. I put yellow. I was going to do orange, but I thought that that red on top had a little hint of orange in it, so I thought the yellow would be better. So I put down the yellow in between the red and the green, and then I'll put down blue in that same kind of washi between the green and the purple. And I put down some double-sided tape because a lot of washis don't stick very well, and I just prefer at least give it a little extra stick. So I get those down and I trim it off. I know a lot of people fold it over, and sometimes with the flat washi I will, but this glitter washi is bumpy, and so I didn't want to put that down and wrap it around, because then it would get caught up on the back. I am fiddling with my iPad because I am listening to a church service and that had just gotten started, and so I had to pause Scrappy Adam to start church. So I get my pictures out and cut them down to 4x4. In the sketch they look like they're probably like 2x2s, and I was not, obviously couldn't cut these pictures down that small. And I had considered swapping, up in the left corner you can see the sketch. The two pictures are on the top right and the bottom left of the little cluster of papers. But I thought about swapping with the top left, bottom right that are just paper layers, but changed my mind. I pulled out my scraps and pulled a couple of pages out. Sorry it's jumping around so much. There's a lot of stuff that you all just did not need to see. So I pulled out some things out of the 6x8 paper pad, including this with the coloring pencils on it, and I used my Creative Memories whole circle punch and made two different size circles. It's double-sided paper, so I'm able to use both sides, and I'm looking forward to doing that because I love both sides of this paper. And I just start kind of laying things down. So I've matted my pictures on the very colorful rainbow kind of papers. And I pull out this little polka dot looking one in between our pictures, and it's got the days of the week on it, and I thought that was very fitting. I picked 2 journal cards or cut aparts, one that says "Hey Honey" with the little polka dots, which match the one that I got down already, and another one that says "Live Colorfully." And I thought both of those were very fitting. And I wanted a place to journal so that you would understand, or people looking at this layout would understand why I was documenting these 2 pictures. So I start by just putting that blue scrap paper down, and I matted my journaling thing that says "Hey Honey," the cut apart, on there. And then I just start basing where I'm going to put things on where I started with the blue rectangle. And I used up some scraps on this. At least 3 scraps were used, and that makes me feel good. I like getting some scraps used up. And then, like I said, I put this "Live Colorfully" and tucked that in. And on the layout, it looks like there's a couple of cut aparts. And I wanted to use them, but I also wanted to be able to utilize what's written on them so they weren't covered. So part of the cut apart is covered, but not to where you can't see what they say. So I get all of that down, and I realize when I go to put this last picture on that the bottom corner of my paper is the same color as the paper I'm laying it down on. So I go ahead and take that same paper that I did the circle punch out of, and I mat my picture right over top of where the circles were cut out. So I am not wasting paper. There was a small spot on the bottom left of the picture that was exposed and didn't get a mat, but I just covered that with one of the circles I punched out. So I love to do that kind of thing. Sometimes if I think about it in advance, I can move the circles around to where they're going to be behind the picture. But since this was not planned, which is typically how I roll, I just worked with it and just found ways to cover up the little area that was not covered with the mat. So I get that down, and I feel really good about the placement of everything. And I am going to start laying things down. Now, in the sketch, there is a banner that goes across the bottom section. And in the sketch, it looks like it's the same color, but that's because I printed it on black and white ink. So I have a feeling that there was some color there and it just blended in. I had a strip of scrap paper that was the perfect size, and I just cut little strips out and then made banners from them and tucked them in at the bottom. Then I pull out my project pad because there's a 12x12 sticker sheet in the front, and in the sketch there are 3 little looks like buttons or something on the top and 3 down on the bottom by the pictures. And I just used the little gold dots that are in my project pad and put those down. In person, you can see them much better than you can on this video. And so I got those down. And I'm looking at the sketch, trying to see what else I would need to do to take care of the sketch for the most part before I start going crazy with the embellishments and stickers. So I look and see what else I want to put on here, and the word fun is on there, and I definitely have fun at work. I love my job. I'm very blessed, and yes, it can be stressful and crazy. I work in a school, but I love what I do, and I love the people I do it with. So it is not a stretch for me to say that this was having fun this day. Even though we were like 14 people down in the building and it was a little crazy, but that's okay. So I get some hearts and some rainbow colors and put them over next to the journaling spot. And then I take a little word phrase that says the story and put it over where it says, hey, honey. And another word phrase that says capture it and put it up on that top picture on top of the circles that I had put down. And then I had another little phrase that I wanted to get down that says, hello, my friend. Oh, I haven't put that on there yet. Sorry, spoiler. So up at the top, I put a little file tab, and I will later write on that. And then I want to find another little tab to put next to the picture on the bottom because I sent these to 2 different people. There, I found a purple one because I thought that would go well with the rainbowing effect that I got going on. So I wanted to document on top of each picture who I sent them to. And there's reasoning behind it. It's not just, there is a reason for wanting, the specifics. So I get some different things. I put that label down right above the other picture, and then I start looking for some other things that I want to put on here. So I found this little one that's like a speech bubble, says cheese, and I had pulled my mask down briefly to take the silly picture to send to my daughter. And so pretty much is what I'm doing is saying cheese. So I mat that on the back of a scrap. So with the orange will help stand it out on this polka dot paper that I'm setting it on. And I selected the spot on that mat because it was part of the white and not the color on the back. So I wasn't going to lose some of the really pretty color on the back of that paper. I try and be cautious with that stuff, and sometimes it works. So I want to put this camera down up here above the Live Colorfully next to the picture. I decide to put it on a little bit of foam. It is not fun foam. It is just some thin foam that I have no idea where it came from, but it's not tacky on either side. So I just put some double-sided tape down, put it on the foam, and then double-sided tape again. So, and I just tucked it up over there so it would give a little bit of dimension to my page. I didn't want too much because there's so much color. So now I'm pulling out the Vicki Boutin sticker sheet that I got at, I believe I either ordered it on Amazon or I got it at Joann's. And then I also have this color study flip through, and I pull quite a few things out of here. Well, not quite a few, but like 4 or 5 things out of here. And the first thing that I pull out is this rainbow, and I'm trying to figure out where I want to put it so it looks good. And I decided to stop right there and put it on the blue because it's bold enough to stand out. Everywhere else, part of the rainbow kind of disappeared. So then I have this coloring pencil, and it says making the world more colorful. And yep. I'm a pretty colorful person. So I get that down there, and there's at least one more on here that I pull out that says laugh lots, and I put that down on the bottom because I definitely laugh a lot. And then this one that says hello, my friend, because that's the one I sent to my friend who was at home sick. And so I put that up there at the top, and then I look through the last sheet to see if I can find anything else I want to add. And I think that is it for the stickers. I'm looking around to see if I see anything else. So I know that I could have done a whole lot more with the stickers on here, but I didn't want it to be, I mean, the color makes it not overwhelming, but it's a lot. So I decided for my title, I'm going to title this layout Life Captured. So this paper, this sticker that I pulled off is like a washi because it's very thin. So I want to mat it on something, plus it's green and I want it to go on the green. So I figured if I matted it on something, it would stand out better. So I put some double-sided tape behind it. I haven't had any issues with any of these Vicki Boutin stickers not sticking. However, I just didn't want to risk it. So I went ahead and put a piece of double-sided tape down, laid it down on another piece of scrap paper, and it's like a greeny white hue, but it's more white. It looks like it was part of one of the watercolor papers that I had used, and I thought that the white, the predominant white, would help it stand out. So I put some tape on the back of all of that, and I'm going to lay that down right there between the hearts and that little tag. And I feel like it stands out enough, and I overlay it with the journaling just a bit. And I like that. So I am going to look over this, see what I think. I'm pausing church real fast to show you the sketch again. And then I was going to do the close-ups, and then I remembered I really wanted to get some journaling on here. So I wrote on the tag on the top to Sonia and in red. And then on the tag down above the other picture to Katie, which is my daughter, because I want, like I said, I wanted to document who they were going to. And then I will get out my blue pen and journal on the Hey Honey tag, and just tell about how I was at work. And my friend had told me how much she loves my pigtails, and I wore them the next day, and she went at school. So that's it. So I'm going to show you the up close pictures, and I hope that you all enjoyed this colorful layout. I hope you all are enjoying this series, and happy scrapping.